Did you know that the average person has at least 100,000 calories worth of stored energy in the form of body fat waiting to be used? It's not just there for looks. The most effective and efficient way to tap into those fat stores and burn it for energy? Take a break from eating. What you can't do is just eat less and move more. That's not how it works. The human body is a little bit more complex than that. But as always, there are levels. That's why some people get amazing results with fasting, while some people don't. There's definitely a right way and a wrong way to do it. If you're fasting but you're not losing weight, you're probably doing it wrong. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do intermittent fasting properly. And make sure to pay close attention to tip number 5, because I'm going to show you an unbelievably powerful hack to make fasting easier. A lot of the fasting purists hate it, but plain and simple, it works. These are the exact same tips that I give to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. So you know it works. Before we get started, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to get notified every time I post a new video every week. Alright, let's dive in. Let's start with the prerequisite. Don't start with intermittent fasting. Again, there are levels. If you're someone who's got really bad eating habits or your diet is complete junk, you need to fix that first. If you just start fasting when your diet is still an absolute dumpster fire, that's basically like signing up for a marathon when your only form of exercise is walking back and forth to the fridge. How do you think that's gonna go? First and foremost, you need to stop eating like a butt. Because it's not about going from 0 to 100 here. That rarely ever works. It's just not sustainable. How about we just focus on going from 0 to 1 and then we just build from that? Baby steps. If you're somebody who eats chips, cookies, candy, granola bars, you drink multiple cans of Coke or Diet Coke, you need to start by replacing those with healthier alternatives like nuts, cheese, hard-boiled eggs, dark chocolate, and water. If you're somebody who eats 6 meals a day, you need to cut that down to 5 and then 4 and then just 3 square meals. That is ground zero. A lot of people struggle mightily when they do intermittent fasting because they find out about it and how awesome it is, so they do it, but they don't really adjust their diet. So they get really hungry, they get headaches, they feel fatigued, they have the worst time doing it, so they quit. And then they say it didn't work for them. Thanks, Captain Obvious. It's actually perfectly normal to feel like crap because your body is literally freaking out. It's going through carb withdrawals. This could even backfire on you because it's just way too stressful to your body. Here's the thing. If you just do the things I just mentioned and get to a proper baseline with your diet, you're going to be pleasantly surprised how good you're going to feel, how much energy you'll have, and how much weight you're going to lose. Only then should you even start thinking about intermittent fasting. If you don't, you are going to have an absolutely miserable time doing it. Now, once you've made those small changes, comes step number 1. Pick a fasting schedule that fits your lifestyle. Pull up your schedule. Are you single? Do you have kids? When do you have a sit-down meal with your family? Do you work during the day or at night? Are you on your feet all day or do you have a desk-bound job? Do you like to go out on weekends? Once you evaluate those things, you need to look at where you can fit intermittent fasting into your schedule. It needs to be part of your lifestyle. This is important because you want to schedule your fast around your life and not the other way around. For example, for a lot of people with a 9-to-5 job, skipping breakfast is usually the best and easiest option. If you do that, you'll just have lunch and dinner. If you eat those 2 meals in an 8-hour eating window, there's your 16-hour fast. A really easy way to get more fasting time, by the way, is by eating your dinner early. The ideal scenario is to finish eating as the sun is going down. This matches perfectly with your circadian rhythm, resulting in better sleep. Speaking of a 16-hour fast, 16 hours is the minimum effective dose of intermittent fasting. Just as important is the amount of meals you're eating during your eating window. You want to keep it to just 2. You can obviously go longer with your fast. You can do 18, 20, 22, all the way to a 24-hour fast. At that point, you're just eating 1 meal. Next, fasting is about flexibility, not rigidity. There's this thing called life that happens all the time. You have weddings, birthdays, celebrations, holidays, your dog's birthday, and so on. It's okay when those things come about when you're fasting. You want to balance fasting with feasting. It's perfectly fine to have a cheat meal here and there. Because at the end of the day, you always want to solve for your highest quality of life. That's what it's about. I'd much rather maintain 14% body fat, for example, but have tons of flexibility with my diet where I don't feel bad enjoying a slice of cheesecake every once in a while, and I do, rather than being under 10% body fat, but I'm stuck eating plain chicken breast and steamed broccoli for the rest of my life. Where's the fun in that? That's why I'm such a big proponent of the 90-10 rule when it comes to achieving long-term sustainable results. 90% of the time, stick to the program. The other 10%, when life happens, You're okay. You can enjoy yourself guilt-free. You don't even think about it. It doesn't even faze you. Are you gonna be carrying excess water weight the next day when you splurge? Maybe. But that's fine. It's not a big deal. You're one good meal away from being back on track. The ability to quickly get over a cheat meal and not let it snowball into another one is a superpower in itself. And having that type of flexibility increases adherence drastically. The best diet and fasting schedule is the one you can stick to. If you're following a fasting schedule that doesn't allow for life to happen, you're doing it wrong. Next, fast intermittently. There's a reason why it's called intermittent fasting and not constant fasting. Intermittent means at irregular times, not continuously or steadily. I gotta admit, I used to be super rigid with my fasting schedule. I had the mentality that more is always better. But just like with a lot of things, you can definitely have too much of a good thing. It's actually not good to just stick to one fasting schedule for a long time. You wanna change it up. Do it intermittently. For example, you can do anywhere between 16 to 18 hours during weekdays. Maybe throw in a 23-hour fast if you're having a big dinner that night. On weekends, maybe just do a 14-hour fast so you can have brunch with your family. And here's the kicker. I just learned this recently from Dave Asprey. You also want to do an occasional fast from fasting. You still want to eat healthy when you do this, obviously, but take a break from it every once in a while. Take a week off. Also, there are even new studies that shows that for women, it might be better if they do intermittent fasting every other day. Very few people, for example, will benefit from going OMAD for a long time. Truth be told, I was stuck on that fasting trap for a bit. Now I know better. I've also talked about the benefits of ketosis in a lot of my videos, but you shouldn't be on ketosis for a long time. You need to cycle out of it. That's why achieving metabolic flexibility is key. Next, don't be a purist. Water, black coffee, black tea, or green tea are the classic drinks you're allowed to have during a fast. That's a given. The water fast purists will even say that coffee breaks your fast. Well, it kind of depends how you want to look at fasting and what benefits you're looking for. Because the amount of caffeine in 2 cups of coffee, for example, doubles ketone production. Why is that important? Well, when ketones go up, ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, goes down. And CCK, a satiety hormone, goes up. Who doesn't want to feel less hungry during a fast? Being hungry sucks. Now, the fasting police will get mad at this, but an unbelievably powerful hack to make fasting easier is by drinking bulletproof coffee in the morning. It's where you put a little bit of grass-fed butter and C8 MCT oil in your coffee and then you blend it. And it turns into this delicious guilt-free latte. But then people say, but you had calories. That's not fasting. If you're counting calories, sure, but hear me out. I'm trying to make your life easier here. It still works because your insulin stays constant. Bulletproof coffee does not raise insulin. They've done tests on this. Keeping your insulin stable is one of the big things you're trying to achieve when you fast. Your body stays in fat burning mode. The next big benefit that we want to maintain is autophagy, which is a cleanse on a cellular level. This is why fasting can help prevent cancer. If you don't eat protein, autophagy stays on. Well, bulletproof coffee doesn't contain protein. Yes, you have this delicious coffee with 200 calories of fat. But that doesn't really matter because your body converts those calories into usable energy right away in the form of ketones, which then turns off hunger and you get to maintain autophagy. All of a sudden, fasting becomes a breeze. You don't even notice it. A lot of the fasting purists think that it's cheating when you use a hack like bulletproof coffee because you didn't want to suffer, as if you get bonus points when you suffer more than necessary. You don't get a medal for suffering here. If you can still get the metabolic benefits of fasting, you get to turn down your risk of diabetes, obesity, cancer, and cardiovascular disease without the misery of hunger. Why would you not want to take the path of least resistance? Next, you want to pair fasting with the proper diet. I have a lot of videos that dives into this topic in further detail, so make sure to check those out. But the beauty of intermittent fasting is that it works with any diet. Some are better than others, obviously. I don't even like diet labels because people just become so dogmatic about it. But I personally prefer a high-fat, moderate protein, low-carb diet because it's the best diet to moderate insulin. Insulin is the hormone that controls your body weight. When insulin stays moderated, it allows you to tap into your almost unlimited fat stores and burn it for energy. You know, those 100,000 calories that's just waiting to be used? This is called metabolic flexibility. Personally, I'm on a mostly carnivore-ish type of diet, and this is the physique I maintain, and I have high quality of life, so I'm happy with it. But as always, just keep it simple. Stick to single ingredient, mostly processed, nutrient-dense foods. For example, eat chicken thigh instead of chicken nuggets. The former has one ingredient, while the latter is a food-like product that's been processed to the nth degree. Next, you want to make other lifestyle choices that complement intermittent fasting. I always like to say that there are 4 pillars of health: nutrition, exercise, sleep, and stress. Intermittent fasting is part of nutrition. You can't just focus on one and just say it to the others. They all need to work together in unison. Let's quickly talk about exercise, and let me just simplify this for you. I'd like to think that I have some street cred here, because I'm literally the definition of a gym rat. I was also a competitive athlete for years. If your goal is to just lose weight, fit better into your clothes, have a flat stomach, maybe even see some abs, or put on some muscle and have that tight and toned look, and I think that 95% of the general population will be happy with that. I'm gonna make a lot of gym owners unhappy when I say this. You don't ever need to step foot inside a gym if you don't want to, in order to achieve those things. If your baseline, for example, is you haven't worked out since gym class in high school, then the best workout you can do is literally just start moving your body. Start with a 10-minute walk every day and build on that. Eventually, you want to work towards getting 10,000 steps every day. For your workouts, you can get unbelievably fit just by using your own body weight as your form of resistance. The reason why you want to exercise is to build and maintain muscle, because having a lot of lean muscle mass is the key driver of your metabolism. It's also a strong indicator of lifespan. If you can train in a fasted state, great. If not, it's not the end of the world. By the way, if your lame excuse why you can't work out or go for a walk is you don't have time, when you skip a meal or two, that's gonna free up a lot of your time. Next, you wanna make sure you're getting adequate and quality sleep every night. According to Dr. Walker from his book Why We Sleep, insufficient sleep, roughly defined as less than 7 hours per night, moves every health metric in the wrong direction. It increases insulin resistance and next day hunger. It drives more food consumption and worse food choices. It raises blood pressure and significantly increases your risk of a heart attack. It compromises the immune system. It negatively impacts emotions and mood. And it raises your risk of depression and anxiety, all from getting less than 7 hours of sleep. If you get your daily dose, all those markers will improve. This to me is non-negotiable. Like, none of this is gonna work if you don't get your sleep right. By the way, our natural sleeping pattern is in the form of biphasic sleep, meaning it's actually good to take a 30 to 60 minute nap in the afternoon. You can bet that I'm a serial napper. I love napping. Next, make sure you're managing stress. Chronically high stress levels will sabotage any weight loss progress because you're constantly activating your fight or flight response. Whether that stress is coming from work, a bad relationship, financial problems, or chronic cardio patterns, your body treats all types of stress the same way. It releases cortisol. One of cortisol's main jobs is to flood your body with glucose so you have usable energy to fight or flight. It gets bad when this becomes chronic, because chronically elevated cortisol results in chronically elevated insulin levels, which then leads to systemic inflammation. Systemic inflammation is the root cause of a lot of disease, including cancer, obesity, diabetes, arthritis, and cardiovascular disease. From a day-to-day standpoint, stress eating is a big problem for a lot of people. One of the best ways to alleviate stress, and it's free, is practicing mindfulness through meditation and walking. Think of it as active meditation. And lastly, be patient. Think about it this way. It did not take you days or weeks to put on the weight that you're trying to lose. It probably took you months, if not years. Also, depending on how long you've been carrying the weight that you're trying to lose, aka how long you've been insulin resistant for, some people might not see results right away. That does not get mentioned enough. So be patient with yourself here. Think long term. Let's say you dedicate 6 months making all the necessary changes to turn this into a lifestyle, but in return, you get to improve your quality of life for the rest of your life. That is a small price to pay. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. The next question then becomes, how are you actually supposed to eat if you want to lose weight? Because here's the thing, 80% of your body composition is determined by your diet. You can't just freestyle this part. Do you have a proven plan that you can follow? To help you with that, I want to give you a free copy of my Lean Body Blueprint. This is how I was finally able to get rid of all my unwanted body fat without depriving myself of my favorite foods or spending countless hours at the gym. It's a simple 4-step process specifically designed for busy professionals, and it's the exact same blueprint that I teach to all my students, and they've all gone to see some amazing results. If you want to be the next success story, then download your free copy of the Lean Body Blueprint right now. There's going to be a link somewhere at the top here or in the description box. Just click on it, type in your email, and I'll send it to you right away. Hey, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a new video every week, and feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions about this video. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Virtual high five.